So this is a extension lesson for thread, multi-thread. So its main idea here is as in most case we expected the many tasks running simultaneously, but the things that in order to run simultaneously, but there is sometimes also expect some order. For example, they want to wait some task completed, then other task will be parallelly worked, or some thread or some task depend on other tasks. So you might be waiting for the another task should be complete, and then continue to run it. So it is kind of you needed to not only the expected performance, then also you needed to manage those tasks by yourself. So that's very important. So in this lesson, we are trying to expose yourself to what kind of possibility API or method we can control this thread and fit our requirement in the real case. So actually, we explained in the previous lesson the thread pool queue user work item. It's not sufficient for us because it's just only make sure you're going to all the tasks can be running in the efficiently simultaneously, but you cannot manage those which task will be waiting for another task to complete it or something else. You cannot control those tasks between the relationship. So we needed to going around other way to do that. So here's many things. One is you needed to by the help of the thread class. You need to create thread class. Then you needed to calling the start method to start your thread. Then of course this is a simple start. Of course you needed to after that, how you can control next step is if you want to expect it another thread to start after that, as long as the thread is completed, you need to start. Usually you will be using join, but here's that. Let me give example first. For example, the new thread start. The work is kind of one specific work that you needed to print out this thread, then sleep 5,000 millisecond. So this is usually the thread is doing. So what you do is you create this thread, then start to the start. So what you do is here or 5, but after that you needed to the another 100,000 millisecond they wait. Then you need trying to doing the abort calling the abort thread to stop this thread. Then finally you need to end up with the foreground thread. So that's a kind of control thread. We are going to trying to stop the thread. Then I mean that's basically is for background thread you running first. Then after then you finally you go back to main not main thread, foreground thread. Then you will be end of your whole work. So basically that's thread working. So it's running the first that let's say the work is running on another thread, so they will output it. The work was aborted. It means because you called it this thread aborted, it means you're going to stop it. Then you finally close all the resource. It means this final work will be call it in the in the thread, then this main thread is finally they will be end of it because this background threads will be terminated. So of course, in other than from accepted abort, they also has a suspend and a stop method, but those are already been deprecated for some security reason or deadlock, something like that. So it's never been recommended anymore. Uh, uh, Another thing is because you need to manage the thread. Uh, Before that, actually, the threads you never expected which one should be uh, the finish first or which one is the start first. Whatever you start first, or you can never expect should be finished first or last. Basically, the thread of management, actually they you can basically uh, give a kind of uh, probability of status. You can give a each thread. For usually there has a thread has a 5 type of different status: highest priority, above normal priority, normal priority, below normal priority, lowest priority. So as long as you give the highest priority, it means the thread will be get more chance to being executed, but lower priorities is get lower chance to get executed. It doesn't miss, of course. The lower chance doesn't miss not running first. Of course, it's possible to running first, but the chance are less. But doesn't miss, they cannot run first. It's possible to run first, but after that, the CPU time pace will be arranged to higher what do you say, permission, not priority. High priority uh, thread will be execute more higher chance. So it means as long as, for example, you have a 5 or 10 of the thread, and the inside that there is a two of them is high, five is higher priorities, two of them is lower priority. It means high priority thread will be execute. They will be get more chance, but lower priority maybe run first, but they will be get less chance. That's only kind of possibility you can predict it. But other than you can never be expected the sequence. And thread has, of course, depend on the life cycle. There is a unstarted, the running, stopped it, wait slave to join, suspend requested, suspended, abort requested, abort, such kind of many status. They will be been identified during the life cycle of the running process. So sometimes, exactly when while you're running the application, sometimes you need to, depend on the status. You can get some information or do some kind of control. Uh, let's begin to discuss related to real solution. One is accessing data with the thread format. So here is for example, let's start from the example explained by the example. For example, here's the C# code. I'm just escaping the VB code. I'm just only focusing C#. Okay. So here's a program that the new multiple this classes, for example, they give the information, then you create this thread, right? Then you can start this thread, then they print out this one, then they will be joined. By the way, the joint is they will be waiting for another thread is completed, then they will be immediately start to execute. So it means as long as the method is not completed, they will be stay here. So it's kind of management that, because we never expected once thread completed, then you can try to start another. But this join definitely able to one thread can link to another thread. So it should be good, because you never we never expected the first previous thread should be spend 1 minute or 5 milliseconds. Never we can predict it. So it's simple things that we can able to join it. This is one. Yes. What else we should explain here? Here's the class that there's a two information. One is greater, another value. So here's they trying to accessing the value in the thread, but you know, if the model, the multiple class, if didn't initialize yet, but if initialize it, then other class going to access access the information. It's never been successfully to reach the information. So but you can there is a several way. One is you can wait for the thread is completed, then share to other thread. But if sometimes you only expected one specific thread going to access it, then you can use the join method to one thread link to another thread. Then if the second thread, it's definitely you don't necessarily to worry about that this information is the sharing information. Definitely you already get it, because the previous thread definitely already finished it. Otherwise you cannot never be then join it, right? That's the one, you know, that's one one example. Another example, sometimes, you know, you are, you know, another example that sometimes you are going to access some resource. For example, you system, for example, internet, you know, you are going to send it package, so the internet bandwidth is limited. So you have to one process send it, process will be, you know, end up, then you are continued to use maximally resource. Another that, for example, accessing the file, of course, writing and the reading. So while you're writing, you cannot read, because if you same time you're reading, maybe you can access it all the data, then it's kind of you will be get this garbage. So you can make sure this new data you can able to access it, but you have to maintain the between the relationship, because many one is the many thread going to access to change or read. So it's kind of you know the case that multi-thread you should have must be handled on. So how you can make sure this information been synchronized, or same time it's no any issue been exposed or been punished to by the result. So let's start from the example. For example, in this C# here, the class names program. So entry point, starting point, main class. There is you defined one class, they give the parameter and the 23. Then you are going to add it to number. then after that you subtract it, subtract number, then finally you are going to multiply it. So if I mean you there is a things, how do you know, uh, maybe you two add three is five. Maybe you think that they will be, must be added first, then subtract, then after that they will be multiplied. You theoretically it sometimes happen, but it's never be the same result. It's each computer have a different table. Sometimes they will multiply first and subtract second, after that add it, or sometimes add it first, multiply second, subtract after that. So it's kind of a ridiculous order. You have to make sure if one of them is execute, others must be been waiting for the process complete. Otherwise it's you know um, very confusion result you will be get. Then you can very confuse that. For example, uh, here's the example that you might be get such kind of file to 2 add 3 is 5, but subtract shouldn't minus 5 but multiply 26. We expect this result, but most time it's never, for example, sometimes you will be get 6 subtract is 6, multiply also 6. What's that? This is a kind of, no, we expect this result, but it's never happened. It's sometimes you add it. It's how is possible to 2 added to 3 is possible to get 6? Something wrong. So that's the problem of the multi-thread. At the moment, you may be probably beginning to understand if I describe not clearly. Now it's the example that we expected this result. This is your true result, but logically, but and at the real case, it's not the same. And just like that, and the 666, it's kind of joke. So how you can handle that? First thing is that I'm not going to talk about VB part. I escape the VB. I'm going to. So how you can? I'm trying to uh, protect it. Is each method make sure they will be completed. So as long as I am going to access add method, I'm going to look at this process. As long as this three line of the method didn't being completed, I'm not going to release this log. It means the control log, I'm whatever the millisecond or 0.01 millisecond, I don't care. But here's that's one way to you can make sure the result should be exactly same. So what you're doing is the log is make sure the block is at the moment only one method can be executed, not running the same time. So after that we will be get we expected the result using this block. There's another way. We can do that. For example, uh, uh, there is another case that sometimes we are going to access the file. I mean, that's multiply calculation, but sometimes we access writing the file. You are same time you may be. I'm not finished yet. While you're writing, I'm not finished yet. You are trying to get this information, but if not finished yet, you will be get the wrong information. So you will be get the, all the information. So it's not true. It's not good. So what you can do is there also provide some kind of reading block, read file block, then write file block. They in the C# also give the such kind of log to make sure the file can be can be executable. Uh, Yeah, so there's a of course there's provide another class being called the reader writer log. So as long as I'm trying to uh, it's a difference that sometimes reading and writing is mm, different level of the cost. So they actually separated two different kind of log. So so definitely you will be gain the efficiency. So what you're doing here is, for example, in the C sharp, they give the occurred log sometimes, so they will going to complete it, but you can change this the times depend on your how much you feel normally. If think this is too slow, then you can make it a little bit shorter time to complete it. So while you get these things done properly, then you can change this proper waiting times to read and write. So here's the example first before then you start doing because this is the process you're going to write it file, then you occur the log, then release the log. So it's kind of similar previous lesson we not previous lesson, it's the previous page we demonstrate the log to make sure the process should be reading synchronizedly. Then also there is a many type of in order to increase the efficiency. Uh, they give the a little bit flexible small function. For example, increment, decrement, exchange, compare exchange, add or rate. Those are automatically been maintained those logs, so you don't necessarily to block whole uh, function of the block. So actually, so it means let me see the example. For example, enter book increment one. That's only the increment one number. So that's you don't necessarily to add a two statement first where lock it after the run function, then release lock. But here's uh, the refinement of the provided by the vendor, so it must be more um, more guarantee the API, we can able to get benefit from them. So we can directly use, if you simply adding a rating, so you can use internet as incremented block to access it in the multi-thread. Then also add it function exchange, compared to exchange. Those are sometimes give a kind of more more efficient uh, more efficient way to writing your code. So give this more chance to writing efficient code. Yeah. Yes, there is a what else we left? Here's the example that there is example of each time the adding process they using the incremented log. So it means as long as the thread is make sure the thread is finished it, then started so there's increment process, make sure not been intercepted and interpolated between the thread to thread. So that should be a little bit how to say, it's a little bit micro level of the control, would say. Yes. What else? What others we can explain? So yeah, so after that you incrementing the controlling the process, you will be get more beautiful sequential order of you generating the thread. So yeah, very good. Yeah, sometimes, as I said, there is a we can use to join to complete one thread to one thread complete, and then you can continue to another thread. But sometimes maybe not one thread, many thread just waiting for uh, many thread just waiting for one thread to come completed, or maybe one thread waiting for many thread to complete it. Then you need to do some kind of conclusion or dependent, do some kind of composition. Then how to do it? There is something you can use: auto result event method, wait handle, wait all this method to accomplish this expectation. What about that? Let's say the example. For example, in the C sharp, at the first you create this wait handler, the auto event. So actually they create the three things. Then they actually calling this 1 to 3 times. So after that, if I'm not going to call this wait all this method, the process must be not same as they take this with all this the process. So it is kind of let's say the result to compare this. That, for example, if such a piece of the code you are going to access it, they will be actually, they will be the main thread. They come out finally. They come out. The main thread is completed. This word come. They print out after that. But if you remove this the line of the code here, that for example, wait handle wait all this line, no, you will be get different results. So main thread is complete. This piece of word will be printed out first, uh, then others after that you will be printing out. So it's kind of, it's not we expected. Actually, it's not very not user friendly interface. So it's a little bit annoying. Then others, if wait hand I'm changing to if any, so it means one of them is, as long as one of them is one thread is completed, then I'm going to go back the front thread. So it's not also we it's also not to be expected. So it's not good. So sometimes it is a depend on situation. You will be, if you use to properly uh, use to those function, you will be get more user-friendly interface, or very efficient program you can writing on. Okay, so all in all, that's all of the related multi-thread uh, ex explanation to in terms of this multi-thread subject. With the C sharp, of course, VB pace of code. I'm not, I didn't explain that. If you're interested, you can go, you just take a time to look out. Yes, I hope you get a little bit sense. If you have any question, then you can leave the